Yes, it is truly a new day. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to yet another edition of the Rare Groove Revolution. I'm your host, DJ Solero, and what you're listening to right now is the Skullsnaps, who I have live in the studio right now, Mr. Sam Culley.
My brother.
And Mr. Ervan Waters of both of the Skullsnaps.
How you doing?
Yeah. How are both of you guys doing?
We're doing excellent.
Good.
Thank you for availing time out of your busy schedule to come on the show. It is so greatly appreciated. Let me start things off by me asking you guys, how did you guys initially get together as a group?
Well, we all left Maryland at one time.
Okay.
And we became the Diplomats.
Okay.
And after a few years with the Diplomats, and we moved to New York and continued our career. And then we wanted to do some playing because we could, and we didn't do that with the Diplomats. So we decided we would use another name and we'd start to play and produce our own records.
Okay, all right. And like playing live, did you guys, I heard you guys actually came out with routines when you guys would play live as the Diplomats.
Yeah.
Was it like side splits and the whole nine?
We did the whole 9 yards.
Everything.
Everything that was going on then, we did them. Headstands, the whole cartwheels, the whole thing. We did that. And we just sort of moved it over to the Skullsnaps. We do a little bit of that. It's kind of hard to do that with a guitar hanging around your neck. But I mean, we did some of that too. But it was mostly very vocal heavy.
Okay. And what did the initial personnel lineup consist of?
3 pieces, actually. Bass, guitar, and drums.
Okay.
And I play bass. Irv is on guitar. George Braggs is on drums. Mr. Braggs is in the studio right now.
Okay.
Pumping up some more stuff for y'all. But it was just the 3 of us for the Skullsnaps.
Okay.
And everybody's very heavy on vocals. Everybody plays a different instrument. Everybody plays at least 3 instruments. So it was pretty easy for us to get together and put the album together.
Okay.
And then we brought in some extra people, some extra horn players, string players, and some harp players and stuff like that. We brought into the studio to assist us with this. But the arrangements and everything was all ours.
Okay, and speaking of the album, the 1973 self-titled debut album of the Skullsnaps, where was the album initially recorded? Where was it recorded at?
Oh, I forgot. This has been a long time. I got a rusty memory here.
It was in New York?
Oh, yeah. Oh, no. The album was actually cut in Somerville, New Jersey.
Somerville,
Oh, okay, okay.
At Mr. Tony Comello's studio, which was just being built then. And we were the first ones to record in it. And by accident, we met this great engineer called Ed Stasium. And I'm sure you've heard that name a lot because he's done a lot of productions for a lot of great people. But we got him first.
Right.
And as you can see here on the album, he is an excellent engineer.
That's really good.
And speaking of the album, I mean, this is an album that was definitely ahead of its time. I mean, just from the front cover alone, like you could tell, it looks like nowadays it looks like a heavy metal album. But you guys, like, what was the mindset? Like, what were you guys thinking of?
Well, we were very impressed by Three Dog Night. We were very impressed by these guys. A lot of the rock guys, we were impressed by them because of their playing ability. So we wanted to do something along that line. We were in contract as the Diplomats for one thing, so we had to come up with another name, another whole situation, and have another concept as far as the album was concerned. So we wanted to do something different.
Right.
So that's how we started to come at this. No pictures, no nothing. As you can see, there were no pictures, so the people didn't know that it was actually the Diplomats that was the Skullsnaps. Nobody knew that.
Now, what was the recording process going into the whole album? Like, how long did it take for you guys to lay the whole album down and everything?
It may have taken us maybe a month to do the whole album, but I gotta tell you that every song on this album was done in one take. Every song, vocally, instrumentally, one take.
We knew it. We knew what we were doing that way because we knew what we wanted to convey to the world, that the 3 of us were good singers and we could play and we could do our own thing. We didn't need a whole lot of, what you might say, middle people. It really takes away from your music when you have producers and arrangers that come in and try to tell you what to play, what to sing. So what it does is it takes away from your creativity when you got to deal with this. So our whole concept was to make it completely us. And if they didn't want to take it that way, we weren't going to do it.
Okay.
So that's how that went down.
Were there any musical charts written out, or was it all based on like feeling?
Well, we sort of wrote out what we wanted, but it was once we learned it, it was like a part of us. So we didn't need
Charts.
the paper trail, so to speak, to guide us along the way. But we brought in some arrangers, and they had to do paperwork for the violins and things like that because it was a different concept. Violins weren't playing the way they're playing on our album then.
Right.
They didn't have harp players doing R&B, funk.
Right.
But that's what we wanted.
That's what you were shooting for.
Yeah, we asked for it. So it was given to us to use, and we used it.
Wow. Now, the album these days is highly notable because of the fact that it's been sampled countless times. The album,
definitely has.
Yeah, it's been
It really
sampled
has.
by people like the Beastie Boys, Organized Confusion, I mean the Steezo, the list goes on and on and on
It does.
of the amount of hip hop producers / MCs that have sampled from this particular 1973 debut album by you guys, the Skullsnaps.
True.
How do you feel about hip hop producers and the MCs who sample from you guys?
Well, these guys, I love these guys. I mean, it's nothing, there's no bitterness from us. I mean, we're not mad at you guys because actually that's why we're here, because you did that. But you need to get at us, though. you need to get at us at 10, 12 records, because we got more beats.
Okay.
Very heavy beats.
You guys just recently reissued a 45, if I'm not mistaken, right?
We have a 45 on 10, 12 records. Actually, that's our label. This is the first time that we got involved into a record label. This is our first time out. So there's a record on there called Snapped. That's an instrumental from the Skullsnaps. There's also one on there from the Diplomats. She's the one that got away. I think they heard that on your show for the first time in New York. But yes, we were involved in a record label, so now we're starting to release things, and there's a reissue coming out on this particular album.
Okay.
The end of this month on Aztec Records, coming out of Australia, with some new joints on it. So we're hoping it's going to be a hot item also.
Okay. I got some more questions to ask you, but before we do that, I'm just going to play a sample of some songs off of this particular landmark LP to show you guys why the Skullsnaps are so heavily sampled. Here's a song off of this LP called It's a New Day, which is one of the most sampled drum tracks ever in the history of hip-hop music. Let's get to it. Rare Groove Revolution.
Yeah.
Yes, and that was It's a New Day by the Skullsnaps, one of the most sampled songs in hip-hop history. Rapper Steezo, I believe, was the first rapper to sample from, this particular record, and since then, hundreds, damn near thousands of, producers alike and MCs alike have followed and sampled from It's a New Day by the Skullsnaps. How do you guys feel about that particular song, It's a New Day?
It is.
It is. It's definitely a new day.
Yeah.
And I mean, history repeats itself. And some of the things that were going on then, when we came up with this song, are going on right now. Like the New Orleans situation, it being a new day. I can't tell you how many times we hear the name of the song come out of these people's mouths. It's a new day. We know a better day is coming. I'm saying, oh man. I'm hearing the song over and over again. And so it really has taken us back, a lot to
Not
hear
only,
it now.
not only that, when Miss Parks died some weeks ago, this song it's almost like it was written directly for her, because her whole plight was in this record, in the lyrics to this record,
right.
The whole thing. And then it was back in those days that she, when she went through this whole situation, and it was written on, I guess it was written for not just her, but everybody that had the same plight about not being able to do what you were supposed to do with the equality, I guess you could say. And then lately, when she died, like these 2-3 weeks ago, all of a sudden everybody on these telethons and all that, everybody was saying it's a new day and just look out for tomorrow. It's a better day coming.
Yeah.
The reverends were saying it. The people who were doing interviews were saying it. I would call him on the phone. I say, this is sort of ridiculous,
Right.
And then when you listen at the record, and here it comes again and again. I said, no, we got to do something about this.
We thought like,
It's a
well, it was the
sign.
only thing we
That
could
was a
do.
sign.
That's interesting.
Yeah, at that time, with all of those things that were going on, you said, well, okay, here we get a chance to say how we feel about that situation, because, everybody couldn't jump up and run like back in the day. But we felt that song was one of the songs that we could really get what we wanted to say out to the people.
Have you guys ever turned on a television or a radio and just all of a sudden you heard that drum track and automatically you guys said to yourself, wait a minute, that's me, that's us?
The light
I
bulb.
can't tell you
The light bulb.
many times, but we just did not know.
Didn't know.
I mean, I tell the story about being out at Power Play, which was a great studio back in the day. Everybody was there, all the hip-hop guys were there. I'll tell the story about being in Eric B's truck, sitting listening to his songs and telling him how great they were, and they were actually my drum tracks. And I didn't realize it then. Wow. And by the way, I mean, people don't really know that when we did this album, we lived in Queens. We lived in Queens on 200 and Linden Boulevard. I know y'all know where that is, but in St. Albans, that's where we lived at the time.
You ever heard of producer Paul C? Yeah, like he was one of the producers who sampled from this particular track, and he actually went on want lists, in the Yellow Pages and and such to locate this album, because he wanted to, he really liked how the album sounded, and he liked sampling from it, and it had a powerful effect on Paul C, who is now regarded as one of the greatest producers ever in hip hop history.
Wow,
and
that's
he
amazing.
loved your album.
That's amazing. It's just I don't know how this happened, but it did. Nobody ever got in contact with us.
Wow.
And we were right here all the time. We've been here right here all the time.
Wow.
None of the guys got in touch with the Skullsnaps. I guess maybe they thought that we weren't in this country, or that we had disbanded, but we had not.
Right.
We went on to do records like So Makosa, and under the name of All Directions. That was still us.
That was you guys.
That was us.
Wow.
That was us.
Man of the Bangles, Sol Makosa.
So
That's right.
Makosa, we had one of the first ones to be put out. I think it sold like for Buddha Records, sold something like 35,000 in a few hours.
Wow.
As soon as they put it on the street overnight, that kind of thing. But people didn't know that we were still the same. That was still the same people.
So who brought it to you? Who brought it to you? You guys' attention that you guys were being sampled, and people are practically rigging this record left and right.
It was brought to our attention really when we went to Europe. When we got to Europe as the diplomats,
Yeah.
all these Skullsnap things were coming at us because they were aware who we were. So all of a sudden we're looking at albums, people are telling us that we held this album for 25 years, waiting for you guys to come here to sign it. I'm saying, you gotta be kidding me. But it was the original album, which you pay about $400 for it right now.
Yeah, that's the original.
It's a collector's item, and yeah.
Truly a collector's item.
And so these people, we were as overwhelmed as, what is going on with this? And of course people did all kind of things, but they've really exploited this record. There's a few companies in Europe that has been selling the record. Nobody told us nothing. They've been doing everything to this record.
Okay, hold that thought. We're going to play another song by the Skullsnaps. It's called Trespassing, another song that's been sampled by some of your favorite hip-hop producers. So we're going to get to that right now. The Red Groove Revolution.
Somebody else's property. I'm trespassing on somebody else's property. Listen, the thing you're doing, baby, ain't no kiss or wheel. You keep on messing around, girl, you're gonna get us both killed. Trespassing. Whoa, somebody else's property. Somebody else's property. I'm trespassing, baby, on somebody else's property. Somebody else's property. Somebody else's property. Hear me, girl. I'm trespassing, baby. Somebody else's property. I'm trespassing on somebody else's property. I'm trespassing, baby, on somebody else's property. Somebody else's property. I'm trespassing, girl,
that was
Yeah.
Trespassing by the Skullsnaps. Ervan, that's some guitar playing that you were doing on that particular track. I gotta commend you.
Thank you
Definitely
very
gotta
much.
commend
Thank you very much.
You know, you two
I
saying
use
once
my other
again,
two hands too.
you know?
Appreciate it.
I mean your guitar playing is mean. I mean, who did you study? Did you like anybody that you studied?
What happened with the guitar playing was, when we came here, I played a little guitar before I left home in church, down at my folks.
Right.
When I came to the city, we had to learn how to play and sing at the same time,
Wow.
and gig and support ourselves at the same time doing that. So a lot of these things that happened on this album were accidents. We did them on gigs that we were working, and a figure come off. He said, "Oh, that was nice," and it was an accident. It wasn't. I didn't plan on doing certain things like some of these things that were on the album. We played them on gigs before they even got to the album.
Wow.
And we just transposed them from one to the other.
Yeah.
And they worked out really well.
Yeah, they did. I mean, just by
Really well.
listening to it, sounded very accomplished.
Whoa.
It was very definite stuff. I mean, it's like we got a chance to try it out on Joe Public before we actually went in and cut it. You know, so we knew what the reaction from a live club was. And so we tried to keep that live feel to the whole album.
Right,
You know, and that was our stroke, you know, to keep it, have it a live feel. And we try to keep that in every song. As you notice, every song is really, it's laid, it's live, it has a live feel to it.
True indeed. And this was once again a one take,
Yeah, all
song.
one take
All of them
shot.
one take.
Yeah, very good, you know, very sporadic.
Okay. So what are you guys doing these days?
Whoa. These days. We got a show coming up
You guys are major.
December the 9th
Okay.
at the Knitting Factory in the city. You're going to see all of this stuff. You get a chance. We've never played here in the U.S., so they get a chance to actually see and hear what the Skullsnaps is really like. They're going to be very surprised.
Any splits?
No, the splits is not happening.
No.
We're not splits is not happening. We're a little past those splits, but
Yeah, but
some great music, some great singing, and some great playing. We have our friends, the Bazant brothers, are playing with us on this gig,
okay.
and it's really old home week, so to speak. You know, I'm sure all the people, all the DJs, and all the guys are going to be coming through so they can hear that monster hit, because we have other things for you guys, by the way. Get at us at 10, 12, because we have other beats for you. You know? But I mean, it's amazing that this thing has done all of this and nobody knew where we were. My friend LL Cool J lived right behind us.
Wow.
In Hollis, Queens, everybody, all the guys in the rap business were right there when we were there. They just didn't know. They knew about us being the Diplomats, but they didn't know about us being the Skullsnaps.
Nope.
No, they never knew that. Corey Rooney is a great producer right now. I mean, I knew Corey ever since he was a kid. I taught him everything I know. He's to his peers now. He's a very, very great producer.
Big dude.
His father's Herb Rooney, right?
Herb Rooney,
Right,
yeah. And his mom is Brenda Reed, that sang lead for the Exciters.
Okay.
We all came along the
group.
same time.
Big group.
You know. So Corey was great. Cool J, just before Cool J signed his deal, I was talking to him and his mom about, you know, some moves that he should be making. He made all of those moves. Very proud of you, Mr. James.
Has anyone ever gotten you guys, like these days, has anyone ever gotten you guys confused with a rap group called the Diplomats?
Yeah, they do it a lot. But then they find out we are the original Diplomats.
Right,
They were in the rap business, we're in the singing business.
Right.
And it's two different things. We run across it every now and then,
Okay.
you know, but not a lot, strange enough, because of the two names.
Okay, well, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to play another song of yours off of this album called I'm Your Pimp. But before I do that,
Oh, God.
like, are there any words of encouragement that you like to give all the listeners, all the viewers out there about anyone that might be interested in, like, you know, making it in the music business?
Yes.
There's only one rule of thumb in this business right here, and that is that you cannot give up the ship. If you want to do this, be original and do not give up on it.
All right, words of wisdom. Mr. Culley, Mr. Waters, thank you definitely for coming on the show,
Thank
and
you.
you're definitely, welcome to come back anytime you guys want.
Thank you.
All
Thank
right?
you very much.
Thank you.
All right, so we're gonna get into it. We're gonna get into I'm Your Pimp. You guys take it easy. Thank you once again for coming on the show. I will catch you all on the next run next week. Y'all take it easy. This is the Red Groove Revolution signing out. Pat, let's hear it.